What's the best gift you've ever gotten? My teenage daughter Maya was absolutely furious when I gave her a cheap flip phone for her 16th birthday. All her friends had the latest iPhones, and she called me the worst mom ever, screaming that I was ruining her social life and that she'd rather have no phone at all. She refused to even carry the thing, leaving it on her dresser for weeks collecting dust. Every single day she'd beg me to get her a real phone, saying I was embarrassing her in front of everyone at school and that kids were starting to make fun of her. I kept telling her she needed to prove she was responsible first, but honestly, money was just really tight. Her dad had left us the year before with a mountain of debt, and I was working 2 jobs just to keep our apartment and put food on the table. Maya would throw these massive tantrums about the phone, saying all her friends were excluding her from group chats and social media. She'd slam doors, refuse to eat dinner, and give me the silent treatment for days at a time. Then one Friday night in late October, she snuck out to some party across town while I was working my night shift at the hospital. I had no idea until I came home at 2 a.m. and found her bedroom window wide open, cold air pouring in. I was absolutely panicking, calling all her friends, driving around the neighborhood looking for her. Most of her friends' parents were annoyed that I was waking them up, and the ones who answered said they hadn't seen her all night. At 3:30 a.m., my phone finally rang from a number I didn't recognize. It was Maya, and she was whispering and crying in a way that made my heart stop. Mom, I'm in serious trouble. I got into a car with this guy Zane from my chemistry class. He seemed really nice at the party, really popular, but now he's driving way out to the middle of nowhere and he won't stop when I ask him to. My blood went completely cold. I could hear loud music in the background and a guy's voice laughing, saying something about showing her his favorite spot. She sounded terrified but was trying to stay quiet. I tried to text my friends for help, she whispered, but this guy made me turn off my iPhone and throw it out the window right after we left the party. He said phones were distracting and he wanted to focus on getting to know me better. Then she paused and I heard her take a shaky breath. But Mom, I grabbed that stupid phone you got me at the last second. I was actually planning to sell it to some kid at school, but I just threw it in my purse and forgot about it. That cheap $40 phone she had hated and complained about for months was literally the only reason she could call me. I told her to keep the line open and not hang up no matter what, while I used the house phone to call 911. The dispatcher immediately started working on tracking the call location. Maya kept whispering details about where they were heading, past the old textile mill, toward the state forest preserve, down some dirt road she'd never seen before. I could hear her trying so hard to stay calm and quiet, but her voice was shaking with fear. At one point, the guy asked who she was texting, and she had to lie and say she was just checking the time. 25 minutes felt like 25 hours of pure hell. Then suddenly I heard sirens through the phone, and Maya started crying with relief. The police had found them parked at some abandoned campsite deep in the woods. The detective who called me an hour later explained that this guy, Zane, had been doing this to other girls for the past 8 months. They'd been desperately trying to catch him, but he was really smart about making his victims get rid of their phones first thing. Your daughter's old phone is honestly what cracked this whole case wide open, he told me. The signal from those older phones works differently than smartphones. If she'd only had that iPhone, we never would have been able to track the call through all those dead zones out there. Maya came home that night and hugged me tighter than she had since she was a little kid. She apologized for everything she'd said about the phone, about me being a terrible mom, about wishing she could live with her dad instead. The next morning, she went straight to the phone store and bought a protective case for that flip phone. She still carries it everywhere now, hidden in her purse right alongside the new iPhone we eventually got her for Christmas. She calls it her safety net and tells all her friends the whole story. Half of them have bought backup flip phones too, just in case. Her story even made the local news as a safety warning for other teenagers. The prosecutor told us that Maya's testimony and that recorded phone call helped put Zane away for 15 years. Turns out he had assaulted 3 other girls who hadn't been as lucky as Maya was. 3 other families personally thanked us at the courthouse for helping their daughters finally get justice. One mother broke down crying, saying she'd been waiting 2 years for someone to come forward. Sometimes the gift they hate the most ends up being the one that literally saves their life. That $40 flip phone was worth more than any expensive smartphone ever could be, and Maya knows it.